our final Aquis company. Semper Fortis are a newly IPO'd esports business and have just raised an initial 2.5 million to tap into the fast-growing market for competitive gaming. In a nutshell, Semper Fortis intend to create esports teams, they intend to sign sponsorship deals with brands, and to sell consultancy services. Semp has signed up the European Rocket League Top Blokes squad. That's 3 players and a coach who currently compete in the Rocket League Championship Series. And Swell has already started to form partnerships with professional footballers and influencers. Tonight, we have Semper Fortis CEO Kevin Soltani, and he's going to speak to us right now. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It is quite the gambit that we've had tonight. I think we've hit almost every buzzword over the last decade, and I'm honored to be a part of the panel and add to the buzzwords. And I was shaking my head in agreement because the more cheeky question, that's why we're here, right? We love them all.
Okay, over to you.
Yep, thank you so much. So we are Semper Fortis Esports. We are newly listed on the Aquis Exchange. Very honored to be here tonight with everybody and to be listed on the Aquis Exchange. We're just about 5 weeks removed from our listing, so we're very excited. We're equally terrified of the market in a good way. What you'll see happen is that we are positioned perfectly within esports and gaming within the UK. When I say terrified, is that there's just so much to do, and it's completely a blank canvas for us to have our go at it. So we're extremely excited to add that value to the market. Semper Fortis Esports is a multi-organizational esports organization. What that means is that when you tend to see esports companies, they tend to be team focused. So as you see in one of our pillars there, we are a part of high growth team operations, as well as doing a lot of brand enhancement deals with corporations and brands looking to get involved with this new exciting sector, as well as technology solutions because of our fantastic team that we have put together. That I think that this is why we call ourselves a multi-organizational. We're not just a one-trick pony like most esports organizations. They do great work, but we want to try to add a lot of value in different sectors where we feel like there's not that much infrastructure currently, and even more within the UK of that semi-blank canvas that I'm talking about. And so, yeah, all things UK first, all things we're based here in London. So what we always say is UK first and foremost, and then our expansion plans will go out toward Europe and out east. But our vision aligned, very passionate, very energetic driven, because we are an exciting sector of business. Esports did get a bump up within 2020 because everybody was at home, and a lot of the younger generation kids and high schoolers, colleges even, were off. And so streaming, not just Netflix streaming like what you think, but streaming, gaming streaming became, took a really large bump up. And what we like to say is in the industry, we took about a 7 to 8 year chunk out of our business growth, and which added value to every company within the industry. So our mission is to create unique gaming experiences through our teams, as I mentioned, our immersive content, which is the brands, and our technologies, which I'll get to in a little bit. And the vision is really just to ignite that passion of gaming, which has gotten a bad stigma over the years. And what you'll see happen is that it's a lot of technology. It's a lot of blockchain, which we heard of tonight. It's a lot of development and engineering, which is going to create a future generation of very skilled laborers, very highly skilled technical children that are playing these games, that are building buildings, they're constructing worlds, and they're coding. It's not just shooting in blood anymore. And so gaming has taken a different kind of approach within its new state, and what we would like to do within gaming as well. So it's really just igniting that passion within the UK, and then begin to expand worldwide as gaming tends to grow, is growing significantly. I think it's very important to hone in on our team. Usually we would skip over and get to the meat, but this, because of Aquis and because of this opportunity on this listed exchange, we have our wonderful chairman, Mr. Keith Harris, that comes from a very traditional sports background. This is important because Mr. Keith Harris has been on chairman of Everton Football Club. He's been involved with Wembley Stadium, and as well as the English Premier Leagues, the different leagues involved there in the in very executive memberships. So you can see how if someone's jumping, and a lot of superstars are jumping from traditional sports into more digital assets such as esports and digital gaming, it's extremely exciting, and the worlds work one for one. Myself and Jassim come from the esports background, where we've owned and operated many teams before, done some great work in the industry over the last 5 years. Mr. Max Deely is our wonderful finance director, comes from a very corporate background. And to round it off, our legend, Mr. Nolan Bushnell, the founder and creator of Atari. Yes, the original Atari, 1970s, 50 some years ago, which I hope everybody on this call, whether you're young or old enough to have remembered that it was the beginning of gaming. It was the Genesis chapter of gaming. So he has gotten the title of Godfather in gaming. So we do have the Godfather of gaming on an esports company, which again should show you the astronomical growth within esports, moving from the very analog to what we call digital now. It's always been digital, right? Atari, Pong, these arcade games, they've always been digital. But what we like to call, this is the analog to digital moment, where traditional sports, such as the EPL, such as the NBA, are trying to grab assets within esports. I'm just going to go over some charts about the growth, because that is the story of esports, is its hyper growth. This number has doubled in its current state by the end of this year. And these numbers have all at least tripled within the UK, except for that gross value added. All of the others have nearly tripled. And I get excited about that fourth one right there in the jobs, because the more jobs you create, the more skilled laborers, because these are not unskilled jobs. These are highly skilled engineering, coding based jobs. So if we can add more to that, I think we'd be doing some great things here in the UK. Some more beautiful stats to look at within the esports hyper growth, but I'll draw your attention to that third panel and that second fact of 100 million plus viewers. This was in 2019, which was the last physical event that would happen pretty much around the world. Even the Olympics got postponed. And why I say that is because esports was going to have a big part of the Olympics pre-ceremonies, but that 100 million viewers, that was a live viewership for the World Championship of the largest game within esports. So esports is not like the NBA where they just play basketball. Esports can represent shooting games to running games to sports games to building games. And so it's very exciting to have one of our sports break the 100+ million mark. And as you can see, the Super Bowl that very same year couldn't beat it. So it became third right after the UEFA Champions League, the League of Legends World Championships, and then the Super Bowl. So we're already cracking a lot of the traditional statistics that people might look at this and say, wow, I really had no idea how large the industry was. So that's the point of all these stats, is to show its hyper growth. These are some statistics within the COVID situation. COVID made a very big impact to gaming. We did get a boost up, and I'll draw your attention to that 28 rounded up billion hours watched. That is B with a billion hours watched. Yes, your children, your brothers, your next door neighbors have all watched some form of esports. It's been on the BBC, it's been on ESPN, it's been on Al Jazeera, some of the largest networks in the world, and they were going to put it a part of the pre-ceremony for the Olympics, but things have changed, obviously, with the postponement. Very quickly, I'm going to run you through what we do as a company and what we're going to be focusing on in the future. Gaming is at our core. Professional gaming is esports. Professional competitive gaming is officially esports. So we have a team that we've purchased and we'll get to in the next slide. And quickly, we're going to go to virtual experiences, which is that content, which is the brand representation, which is getting the IBMs, the Googles, the Apples excited, the HSBCs, the Halifaxes, all of these companies excited about esports. Now that could mean advertising, that could mean getting involved and throwing events, getting the youth involved and getting them excited for your future product. So you tend to see companies like Red Bull, Coca-Cola have already made the jump, but then you see insurance companies like State Farm and Geico in America quickly jumping. I'd like to see that same thing happen here in the UK so that we can, let's say a Halifax jumps in, our 100,000 plus audiences every Sunday can get those eyeballs to the brands needed. And now you're not only getting them excited because it's gaming, but you're getting a whole host of youth to be clicking on that product, which can't be better than financial literacy in a Halifax product. Our technology pieces are probably the most exciting and what we've been working on in the backgrounds and what we're very excited to start to announce toward the end of summer. And that is really mixing in blockchain and gaming. Blockchain gaming, Bitcoin gaming, and Lightning Network gaming are three completely different things. I do come from a very large blockchain development background. Our team has been developing those in our past lives. And so to bring that full force and full circle for the gaming industry, working with Nolan is going to be a dream. And Nolan has been building these blockchain-based gaming services and infrastructures for about a decade now, for as long as the technology's been around. And so we're very excited to expose some of those technologies within gaming and to bring them to market within the UK. So get ready for some of our blockchain technology products that we're working on. And tokenization is a very big thing within esports and gaming. And we're very excited to try to bring that again to our audience, to our fans, and really give products that are they're not here in the UK. We might have some competition worldwide, but again, we are a UK-based company and we'd like to bring the fans in the UK some more infrastructures to have some fun with. And why not add a bit of layer of technology, which is for security, KYC purposes, and all things of better engagement for fans when money is involved. Not only are our teams going to be doing the traditional things such as merchandising, brand collaborations, digital distribution, but a management operations side of it is very important. In our very first season, the top blokes have ranked 3rd in Europe, 6th in the world. We do get a little chuckle out of our name. We are the top blokes. And we took the team over, and ever since we've been just shooting toward the moon. We did qualify for the World Championships in our sport of Rocket League, which is extremely exciting. It's next week, exactly a week from today. We play our competitors across the street in Guild. Guild was listed by Mr. David Beckham not too long before us. They're a pure play esport team company where we like to say we're a multidimensional and we don't just focus on the teams, but we focus on our technology products and our brand enhancements as well. But this is our first product. We are what we like to say very outperforming. We're very excited. And we have 3 very young kids, two from the UK and 1 from France, and our coaches in English as well. So please check us out, support us. And it's very exciting, this Rocket League game, but we are competing for the World Championships. It is a $1 million prize, European purse, 400,000. These are not small numbers. Our average salaries within the team and Rocket League are almost pushing 6 figures. Yes, games and computer games are pushing 6-figure salaries. Again, just to go over some of the things that we were talking about in technology, because it is the 2nd and 3rd product we will be developing in our company. You have things which aren't written here, such as in-game advertisement. So the games that your children, your brothers, your cousins play, or yourselves, you have these advertisements that are coming in-game now. Those same flags in the FIFA stadium that used to say something else can now say any one of our brands. And so that's a very exciting untapped market. It's slowly becoming tapped. We have our strategic partners that we're going to get in line with for data analytics. Following fans, tracking them, rewarding them is extremely important in esports. It's a very young industry. You're just about 1% adoption rate. So the best thing you could do is to get that 1% to return. Open that door again and come support your team or your endeavors. And so tracking those fans is very important to us, and designing the technology solutions for the infrastructures within esports. I mentioned tokenization, which is a blockchain-based solution. And tokenization has been used in gaming for a better part of 20 years. PlayStation and Sony have been doing a different form of it. They don't call it tokenization, but they've been offering PS tokens and PS coins. Xbox has been doing it. And now you got very exciting companies in Fortnite, which is the world's largest game, one of them, and some of the other games in Roblox and Sandbox that are using tokenized assets, and not only using a layer of blockchain for security, but also adding them in for currency purposes. So this is extremely exciting that gaming can drive the adoption for multiple different avenues and industries. Some more strategies we look to get after in our B2B consulting side. We do see our third pillar as that brand enhancement is working with the Googles, IBMs, traditional businesses, Halifax, HSBC, to be able to hold their hand and guide them within esports. It's arguably one of the most exciting entertainment sectors of the last decade. So we're here to hold their hand and give value to esports and gaming, and as well take advantage of this massively young population that is, again, in hypergrowth. Some quick stats that we'll go over, but yep, thank you very much. I'll stop it here.
Fantastic. All right, Kevin, I heard a lot about the background to esports there, which is completely fantastic, because I suspect that we have over 100 people on here and over 100 of them don't exactly know what esports is. But in a nutshell, could you summarize your own business strategy for us, the different pillars of your strategy?
Absolutely. So in an elevator pitch, we work on teams, which are traditional assets, such as the top blokes, which are one-to-one like a Manchester United or an Arsenal, or maybe I should stop saying teams and just say teams in the EPL, because you never know who's a fan of which here, right? So we run these traditional teams. The second thing is our B2B consulting side, which is that brand enhancement that I mentioned, holding the hand of traditional corporate partners that want to get involved within esports and gaming, whether it be advertisement, events, activations. And the third being technology, where we add infrastructures to layers of blockchain gaming and tokenized tech so that esports can grow in its adoption and give the users something more exciting in the tech side to add on value to and use.
Excellent. Excellent summary. So could you talk us through the revenue model for an esports business like yourself? Where are the revenue streams going to come from? You've got those three different pillars to the strategy. Where does the money come from?
Sure. In the first one, the team's management operations, just like any traditional team, we need to win. And when we win, we gain sponsors. That's not to say if the team doesn't win, you can't gain sponsors. There's many things a team does, activations and exciting things all the bit. What I held it for the question and answer part that's very exciting is that we've signed 2 ambassadors to the company already. And what you won't see on our presentation is that these 2 ambassadors are also playing in the Euros, and Mr. Harry Maguire, captain of Manchester United, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a striker for Everton Football Club. We've signed them as ambassadors to stand behind us and to really go after some of those sponsorship deals, as well as activations within traditional events. That could be a tournament, that could be a charity event, that could be a corporate sponsored event. And we're really looking to get the merchandising really excited as well with our 2 ambassadors. I'll mention again, Mr. Harry Maguire from Manchester United and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have signed on with us in full. And we're very excited to see them perform well. And right after the Euros, we'll get to our jobs with them soon after.
Even I've heard of Harry Maguire. He's the England captain, isn't he?
Something like that. Yeah, he's quite
something like
star,
that.
You know, he's a big wall back there for the United, but he's an amazing player. He's an amazing man. And the funny thing was with both of them, and this isn't a cliche thing to say, you would have heard this straight out of their mouth, and you can test them in a game of FIFA too. How about that? That they're actually gamers. Is that in the locker room, not just these 2, but a lot of other players, they play, which is natural, but these guys really love it. And so we got really excited to hear that Dominic Calvert-Lewin, DCL, liked Rocket League above all. And it's a very difficult game to play, Rocket League. So for him to say that he liked it, and ironically, we're in the World Championships at the same exact time they're playing in their championships in the Euros, we're extremely excited to have the 1-for-1 going, and they love esports too.
So in the Rocket League, do you get the profits? Do the team get the profits? How do you actually make money out of it?
Yes. So when the prize money wins, the team gets a split with the team, as in the players, gets a split from the parent company, as in we do. And every prize pool has a bonus as well. So every time you rank up the ladder, you make X more money. And so we are the third best performing team in all of Europe at just over $120,000 in prize money, which is very significant in a time when all esports got cut. The championships will be a $1 million prize pool. And so we're excited to get after it. So just like winning the World Cup or anything, there is a check that comes along with it.
So for the top blokes as a team, it's rather like you're an agent, or it's better for that. It's more profitable for them to be with you, with Semper Fortis, than it is for them to be running solo by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if they're going to run solo by themselves, which is how almost every esports team starts, you either have to be picked up or noticed, right? So it's like the academy of any of these football clubs. But yes, once you're picked up, the advantages are plenty, because now you have the support. So we have a mental coach, we have a nutritionist, short of having a chef because of the COVID times, we have a nutritionist write down everything that they should be eating. We have a physiotherapist that meets with them. I did mention mental coach. And so these are things that are one for one with any of the EPL teams that we're very familiar with in traditional sports. We need to take care of them. And how the company continues to make money outside of just winning championships is activations. So when we throw a tournament like the Top Blokes Classic, which we're going to be doing over the summer, or doing activations with some of the brands that I mentioned before, to try to do anything from financial literacy seminars, getting people excited about products such as HSBC in Halifax, so that they can have our name on our jersey, which is another revenue stream for teams as well.
Okay, how competitive is that marketplace? It sounds pretty competitive. And how do you, as Semper Fortis, how do you differentiate yourself in this space?
Yeah, thanks. That's probably our favorite question to answer, to be honest, because our competitors in the space that I mentioned in Guild Esports and a few others around Europe, they are pure play esports teams. They do compete in many different esports, where for now we only compete in one. And so their revenue streams are based on esports. We want to diversify our revenue streams and work on different products that we're good at. And some of those products, as you saw within our team in Nolan Bushnell, working on the tech and gaming development pieces, were much different from the other ones that have listed before us. And a few others that we admire are not pure play esports teams, but more investment style VC firms that are adding, building, and investing in esports products within the gaming sector, so that they can one day say, we're building technologies just like what we're doing. So our aspirations look more of like a conglomerate VC investing and building good products within esports.
Okay, good answer. First question from James Alexander. How do you compare to Fnatic, FNATIC? How do you view their valuation?
Oh, two-parter. The second one was an interesting one. The first part, look, Fnatic is the best England or UK-based or bred team. They are one of the first ever to do it. Massive congratulations, massive success. We bow down to their success in many ways, because you should. When you're the first in the country, you should know your respect. But that's not to say that we're going to compete with them down the line. And they do not compete in Rocket League, but their competitors, which are arguably the largest team in Europe, G2, do compete in Rocket League, and we're better than them. So I can feel better that we're almost climbing the ladder to Fnatic. But they are a $200+ million valued company, if I'm not mistaken. They've gone through the ringer of at least 12 to 14 years of business. They are based in the UK with branches about 4 different countries, I believe. And so to see what their value is or what their worth is difficult, but they are worth every penny, I believe. They are, because of hyper growth that's happening in sponsorships right now, and they don't have trouble raising money. So we'd love to follow their footsteps in the esports side.
Exactly, because you've got many different strings to your bow. You've got 3 different segments. Okay, why did you choose the UK to list rather than any other markets? I'm not stupid. I can tell you've got an American accent. Why did you feel Aquis was a better fit for you? Because presumably it was between Aquis and AIM when it came to the UK.
Yeah, I alluded to the job creation in the UK. I alluded to kind of the semi-blank canvas that we're excited to tackle in my presentation. And I want to regurgitate that because we do feel that when you create jobs, you're creating economy. And when you create economy, that cycles back to your business. What better way than to do that with the younger population that's excited about a product that they want to work with? And here comes esports, here comes gaming, and a sprinkle of technology of blockchain that we're going to work with to bring it all home, that are all legitimate, viable products over the next 50 to 100 years, arguably. These are recession-proof businesses. Gaming has proven it over the last 50 years that it's recession-proof, it's in hyper-growth, it's innovative, it's exciting, and it's young. So we chose the UK because of all things opposite to what is being done in gaming here. We have a massive brain drain problem here in the UK for skilled laborers. As soon as they become a skilled laborer, even engineers will find jobs in other places in the world. So to answer your question, why we chose this market and this UK is because we're here to fight, and to fight a battle that is almost semi-blank. So we can see our value being added and see what we've done, right? The projects that get done, you see the outcomes very quickly. You don't see that in America, and you sure don't see that in Europe. We're excited. We'll be one of the few that says that Brexit, we're excited to bring it back home and to see the money grow right here on the island together.
The second part of my question, why Aquis versus AIM? It's wonderful to have a warm body in a seat who can actually answer that for us, you see, given that this is Aquis night.
It's true. To be honest, Aquis felt like a better fit for us because they seem like that young tech product that we are. If you saw today on this panel, not that everybody was young in tech, but they are exciting and growing. They are alternative, they are innovative, and they are in hyper growth. And if that's what Aquis is in compared to AIM, then I think I've hit all three nail on the head, because that's what we are, and that's what we saw they were too. So when we had our first talk with them, not only were they extremely supportive, but they talked exactly like how I just said: innovative, exciting, growing, and wanting to be alternative, and what's more alternative, like I mentioned, than today's panel of speakers. So we're very honored to be with Aquis, and not only to be in their smaller market segment, but we'll quickly get to their larger market segment. You can count on that.
You've only been around IPO'd for 5 or 6 weeks, but let's look at your growth spurt. You're going to have a growth spurt, and let's look at you in 2 years' time. What do you think Semper Fortis looks like in 2 years' time?
Yeah, I'm very confident that we will be hitting around the 100 million mark, because the technology services that we will be able to produce will be user acquisition based. And tech has provided many multiples that shows user acquisition is important when you're looking at adoption, revenue, and future revenue. So if you look at the way gaming has exploded and continues to grow, our tech products, our teams, and those agreements and contracts we hope to get with brands will easily push us to the 100 million mark within 2 years, and 250 and beyond within the 3 to 5 year mark.
In market cap terms, or as I'm thinking, in market cap terms?
Correct.
Not in revenue terms.
Correct.
If your market cap is 100 million, what might your revenues look like?
You know, it's difficult to say when we don't know how the product's going to react in the market, as in the tech product. But tech products similar.
How do you therefore know that your market cap is going to be 100 million? I have to ask.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I did know where your revenues are going to come from.
Yeah, no, I did allude to it with the 10x of the multiple in the tech side, right? A tech side product is exciting. We're not saying it's not going to be exciting for revenue purposes, but user adoption and user acquisition is a multiple that's very exciting to tech companies that they can hone future revenue and hope to build off of. So within gaming, it's a lot of building, and the first year is exactly that, user acquisition. So if we can get those million users plus, that's how you multiple them based off CPM rates and the growing sponsorship deals that we hope to get for those technologies.
Kevin, you're a complete star. Thank you so much.